Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to cloud test lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
So here you can see that it is asking for some URL. So take this URL and put it here. Click on go. Sorry. So now you can see that this was able to parse the WSDL file, and it has created the service level, binding level, and 3 operations. Click on one, perform multiplication. So for perform multiplication, you can see that there are 2 text boxes available. I'm giving 10 and 20. Submit the request. Just a second. Here you can see that perform multiplication response, and the return value is 200. If you just want to verify, you can just go ahead and use this particular tool as well to verify your web service operations. Let us take a look at the logs.
Krish, just a quick question. How did you open that tool, Krish?
Here there is a button. Go to Java EE view, and after your browser, there is a Web Service Explorer window.
Thanks, Krish.
Yep. Verify the logs now. You can see that this is the request message. And also, this is the response message. So here you can see that within your request message, see, as of now, we have sent only argument 0 and argument 1. And we have mentioned that this is my operation name, perform multiplication. So normally you should contain your XML as this particular part only. You shouldn't contain any of this information, but your SOAP processor will add all the information. It will just create a wrapper for your request message, SOAP environment body, and also it will add the root element envelope. Currently we don't have any header, so that's why it was not available. And this is the request that will be submitted to the server or the service provider. Come back to your response. So our response consists of a top level message name, which is perform multiplication response, and it consists of the actual return value, and finally SOAP body included with SOAP envelope. You can just go ahead and use this particular tool to perform all the remaining operations as well. Let us change our code and we'll see what happens when an error occurred. So for perform multiplication, I'm just changing this to division operation, but I'm not going to change the method name. The reason for that is if I have changed the method name, again I need to generate the WSDL file and I'm supposed to provide that to the client. So that's the reason I'm not going to. So now restart our server. Anyway, it has already redeployed. So I'm performing the division operation there, and now I'll send the value denominator as 0, and we'll see what happens. Perform multiplication, perform 20 and 10 first. We'll see the result. So you can see that return value is 2. This is fine. Let us send the elements as 20 and 0. Click on go. Now what is the response? So the request message, here you can see that 20 and 0, and here you can see that some error has occurred, and we already know that this will be going to throw the divide by 0 error. When you are not handling the error properly, the SOAP processor will generate the exception message and it will generate the fault code properly. Let me resize this one. And you can see that within my SOAP body, I have the SOAP fault element, and I have the fault code, and also the fault string. So you can see that previously we have within the SOAP body, we have the actual response, and this time you can see that fault code is server error because server hasn't handled the error properly, and the fault string is divide by 0. So your SOAP processor has the capability to generating this kind of message and respond back to the client as well. Now, instead of the tool, let us work on the normal client. So you guys are supposed to understand this particular code. The first one is your service detail, and you need to create a queue name for that. Verify what is meant by queue name, and also you need to create a queue name for port as well. The first one points to the service and the next one points to the port. And once after that, you need to create the service based on the service name. Once you got the service, the top level service, you need to specify the location of the address. Get the address. Get the address details, and finally you need to call the getPort method. The getPort method by passing the name of the service endpoint interface. this will provide you directly the arithmetic service object. The client code you guys are supposed to understand on your own. So once you got the arithmetic service, nothing but your service endpoint interface, you can just call any of the methods, perform addition 10, 20. This out, I'm directly printing the value. Let us go and execute this one. You can see that 1020 at the server level, addition has performed. If you are not able to see, stop the server at this level. It will throw an error at the client side itself. See, currently this is just like accessing the method on the same machine. You got the arithmetic service class and you are calling the perform addition. If you are not sending this information, then this will say that the method was not at all available. So you should follow the syntax because the client artifacts are available at the same level itself. Yeah, we'll see how to write the exception. So now I have started the server at that level. Let us execute one more time. And this time you can see that the exception has processed at this level and the response has received. Call perform multiplication. Multiplication and pass this as a 0. Execute it one more time. Exception has occurred and you can see that the exception class is SOAP fault exception. So whenever an exception has occurred, normally your web service client, the receiving client, it will throw SOAP fault exception. So that means you are supposed to handle SOAP fault exception and check the methods that are available within your SOAP fault exception. Here you can see that there is a method getFault, and the getFault has all the getter methods to get the fault code, dot get fault string, which will provide you the actual fault code and fault string. See, here you got the fault code and fault string, so which got generated by your SOAP processor. So on the client side also, he can just retrieve that information and he can display it to the client if at all, if it was responding back to some front end. Fault code and fault message. Let us execute one more time. This time you can see that you are handling the exception and the fault code is SOAP server and the fault message is divide by 0. So based on this, you can just change the data and you can execute the operation one more time. Yeah, we can write user-friendly messages. You just need to handle the exception at the server level and write that particular code. That we'll discuss tomorrow, how to handle the exceptions when we got and how to write the customized exceptions. So normally the operation messages, we have specified about the operation, which consists of incoming, input, and output messages. There are 4 types of operations available. The first one is one way. Nothing but the client wants to send some information to the server and the client is not interested to get the response. The next one, request response. As of now, we have followed request response pattern only. Client will send some request, server processes the request, and it will respond back with some output. Notification. Once a client has sent a request, let us say the server has processed for one way. And after some point of time, let us say after 2 hours or 3 hours, the server was able to process the request and he just want to send an acknowledgement back to the client. That will be just like a message from service to the client. So that means it will only contain output within your message. For that acknowledgement also, if the client was supposed to send one more acknowledgement, then that will be just like solicit response. So whenever a server has initiated any request, and the client will be going to acknowledge that, yeah, I have received your request or I have received your response message. This is just like the opposite of request and response. The initiative will be from the server side and the acknowledgement will be from the client side. These are the 4 types of operations that we have within our web service. See, within your Apache CXF 2.4.1, currently I have 2.4.1, probably you guys have downloaded 5.3. So within your bin folder, you can see a lot of bat files available. When WSDL is converting to the normal Java operation, you can see that there is one particular bat file, the conversion file available, WSDL to Java. Your Apache CXF will use this particular command and it will generate the required JAX-WS artifacts and also the corresponding Java files based on this particular tool only. Yeah, that's all for today's class. We'll discuss about the header related information and also fault handling exceptions in tomorrow's class, and we'll also discuss how to verify by using SoapUI tool, web service handling or web service testing by using SoapUI tool in tomorrow's class.
Chris?
No, Jitin. Yep.
You did start something from some batch file, right? What in the command prompt? What was that?
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website H2K Infosys.com. On our website H2K Infosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.